Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how do I stay in the state of wish fulfilled no matter what? I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. The question about staying in the state of wish fulfilled, or even how do I move to the state of wish fulfilled? How do I shift identities? How do I manifest my desired reality? All of these questions came up again, of course, and we're going to answer them again. But remember, that how question implies that you're not source, that you're not that I am awareness within which all identities exist, all realities. I want to talk about this in the context of another observation or comment or question came up where one of you said, well, Tom, it seems like you're asking us to deny time and space and deny 3D reality. And I have never said that. In fact, it's the opposite message. So that is just as you're suggesting that. You're suggesting that I'm suggesting that, meaning you're watching a video, maybe one or two videos. I think you're new to the channel. And you're implying and suggesting we're talking about denying the past or denying an identity. It's never about denying anything. I would suggest that you watch a little bit more content to kind of give you a broader perspective of what the message is. There's over 2,700 videos, right? So it's never, we're not saying, I think you said this, you're suggesting that we deny time, or we deny space, or we deny a past experience and choose our new identity. No, we've never said that. It's always about allowing, right? And then you're saying, isn't it better to embrace or allow the historic experiences to be in releasing resistance? Well, on a linear sense, that makes sense, but that's coming from a linear mind, a lower level of understanding. Right? What we're really saying is do nothing with them. That when you start trying to heal or fix or even allow a historic perspective, a past experience, you're saying that past experience is still there. And remember, it's not there. The past doesn't exist. You're creating it right now. Do you see it? You're creating the idea of that history. We're saying when you choose who you are right now, you are creating a new horizontal linear past that makes more sense to who you're being now. That's our message. It's never about denying anything or denying any identity or version or experience of reality in time and space. You're suggesting that. That's your view. That's your interpretation that was already within you as you watched the video. Do you see it? In more than 2,700 videos, the message has always been about choosing, accepting, and allowing. Not denying time and space. Time's an experience. We're saying it's not even a real thing, so why deny it? When you deny something, you're giving it reality. You're saying it's real, right? We're saying deny the reality of it. That's different. Right? So denying is your 3D linear time-space interpretation. What we're saying is do nothing with them. Do nothing with the identities that are no longer your choice, the realities that are no longer your preference, the experiences that you no longer resonate with. Right? We're not saying embrace or deny them. We're not saying do either one of those. We're simply saying they are simply an identity or a horizontal linear experience that you no longer prefer. Right? Remember, you're not any of those identities, you're all of them. So we're not saying deny anything. We're saying it's all here and now. You're all identities, one superimposed over the other right now, here and now. When you create the idea of history and unwanted experiences in the past, you create them right now. Right? In the moment, you choose again who you are, your identity, a new version of you. And that horizontal past that belonged to that other identity no longer makes sense to who you are now. It no longer makes time-space sense. So you create a new idea, a new remembered history, or if you want to call it that. But it doesn't exist. Everything is defined here and now by who you're deciding you are. That was the message. And I know I think this comment even said that they're kind of new to the channel. When you watch a couple more videos, you'll really get it. Your historic past experiences hear this because you're suggesting that history has a link to who you are, and you have to release resistance with it and let it go and heal it or fix it or feel good about it until you can move on to a new identity. No, we're saying that historic past experience has no link to who you are now unless you create it. So all that forgiving, all that fixing, all that healing, all that releasing just keeps it relevant and real in your experience. Right? There's no answer to why you're unfulfilled or not in a state of wish fulfilled in your past. Right? There's no answer in the past of why right now you're feeling non-fulfillment. Do you see it? Because that's what you're saying. You're attributing to the past. That we've got to forgive that and release it to be fulfilled now. It has no link. There's no answer in the past. The past doesn't answer anything. You create the answers and the questions and answers right now, in the here and now moment. You create that past. This is what A Course in Miracles says. It's very clear. There is, however, no point in giving an answer in terms of the past, because the past does not matter. Wow, it doesn't matter. Whatever the circumstances are, whatever you think they are, past, present, or future, they don't matter. It's you that matters. Your awareness of being. That's the state. It's not temporary states of fulfillment. You are fulfillment. You are awareness. And then Course in Miracles goes on to say, it doesn't matter, and history would not exist if the same errors were not being repeated in the present. In other words, you want to embrace that historic past and then release it. Well, you keep making the same mistake. That's what Course in Miracles is saying. It doesn't exist. You don't have to embrace it or let it go. It's not there unless you put it there. Wow, that's powerful. Your identity is fulfillment and perfect awareness of being here and now. That's your identity. Within that identity, you can choose to have an experience that unfolds with this idea of time and space and movement that we call 3D reality. And that's how you know yourself as that absolute perfect being, as that absolute fulfillment. Your experience as that identity, as the unfolding in time and space, that movement here and now. That's powerful. So I want to hit this idea today and more. Remember the questions of how do I stay in a state of wish fulfilled? How do I stay in my I am awareness? Remember, you are that awareness. I am fulfillment. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. There's no world without you. You're the light. You're the reality. You're the awareness. So it's not about trying to stay in some temporary state, trying to feel good about certain thoughts or trying to think better thoughts and feel better, right? And all of that we've talked about. It's not about that. It's not about trying to tolerate circumstances, right? Or try to embrace this historic past or whatever we unwanted. It's you standing in that knowing right now. There's no world out there. You are source and there is no other. I am is the awareness. It's not about how, it's about who. I've said this many times, this quote from Loki, right? It's about you. That's the who. How implies there's some other secondary cause or secondary source. How implies your fulfillment exists in the temporary forms of thoughts, feelings, people, events, and circumstances. Do you see this when you're trying to feel better? About feeling better thoughts and all of that, right? That I know that Abraham Hicks and a lot of other spiritual teachers talk about. Nothing wrong with that. But that bottom-up approach, right, keeps you believing that fulfillment is in those thoughts, that fulfillment is in those feelings, that fulfillment is in those people, events, and circumstances. They're all conditions. They're all changing conditions. All thoughts, all feelings, all people, places, and things are temporary changing conditions. Fulfillment doesn't exist there. Fulfillment exists in your awareness of those conditions, in the awareness of those thoughts, in the awareness of those feelings, in the awareness of those people, events, and circumstances. And when you're aware of them, then you create how you, quote, feel about them, the conviction of your being. You see it? You decide who you are. And then those circumstances, those thoughts and feelings and people, events, and things form around that identity. But remember, you're all identities. You're the awareness within all of those identities exist. So none of that exists without your awareness. So your awareness is the fulfillment you're looking for. And you are already that. Your awareness of being is your, quote, happiness or fulfillment or that peace that passes all understanding, that contentment that is beyond any 3D linear experience of feelings or emotions that we can conjure. There's nothing wrong with feeling good, but feel good from the highest perspective of knowing that you are the awareness, you are all of those identities. You are all realities, and you get to choose from that allness what that experience of the people, events, and circumstances and thoughts and feelings are going to be. So whatever thoughts are coming, whatever feelings you're feeling, whatever people, events, and circumstances you're seeing, they don't matter. You're the one that decides what they mean. And they mean nothing other than that they're appearing in your awareness. So identify with the version of you who you desire to be, from the highest ideal, the highest level. And then everything has the meaning of that identity, that highest you, that next best version of you. I am the law of Moses. That was the scene in The Chosen. I am the law. In other words, I am the awareness. I am fulfillment. I don't look for it in the changing thoughts and feelings and the changing people, events, and circumstances. I am fulfillment. And those thoughts and feelings and those people, events, and circumstances only have the meaning that I give them. And I give everything the meaning of fulfillment, that it's unfolding perfectly. This is what we're talking about today. So you don't find fulfillment in temporary forms and states. That's where the glitch is. You keep talking about that state of wish fulfilled. You are the law. You are the state. You are always fulfilled. You get to determine your experience of it. You get to consciously decide, consciously choose. Fulfillment's not found without or within, because there's no out there and there's no in there. Do you see it? You are awareness. There's really no in there either. We talk about within all the time, but there's no within or without. There's just you as reality, you as I am awareness, right? You as that beingness. You decide it all. So fulfillment is that beingness. Fulfillment is your awareness of being. That's fulfillment. What you are aware of out there or in there is irrelevant. Do you see it? Your fulfillment. So whatever you see or experience out there or in there, in terms of, when I say in there, I mean thoughts and feelings, the non-physical thoughts and feelings, or out there, the people, events, and circumstances. They're just an expression of the fulfillment that you already are. But then you look out there and judge those and decide that's not fulfilling. Do you see it? And so you create that idea of lack. You create that idea of fulfillment by judging the temporary thoughts and feelings and the temporary people, events, and circumstances. They mean nothing until you judge them, until you give them reality, until you decide to identify with them. Okay? So that's the true meaning of non-attachment, right? That they're irrelevant. Fulfillment is your awareness of being. What you are aware of out there or in there is irrelevant and has no effect whatsoever on your state of wish fulfilled. Do you see? You're linking the state of wish fulfilled to some temporary feeling or thought or people, events, and circumstances out there. It has nothing to do with it. That's the true meaning of non-attachment. There's nothing to hang on to or let go of. There's just your very own awareness of being, and that's fulfillment. You don't have to hang on to it. You don't have to let anything go. You don't have to try to stay in it. It's who you are. You give meaning to everything else. That's powerful. Everything else is irrelevant, but the fulfillment that you are. That's powerful today. So fulfillment is your I am awareness of being, your very own awareness of being. This is really this reflects the teachings of Lester Levinson, right? That your own awareness of being is your ultimate happiness. Happiness, he would say, happiness is not found in the things, in the people, events, and circumstances, or even the changing thoughts and feelings. It's the fulfillment that you are. It's your own beingness. It's your nature or name, I am. It's not a temporary state to be in or out of, or try to maintain. That's what Jesus meant when he said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So no matter what you are aware of on that screen of awareness, the screen of awareness is untouched. You as awareness is untouched. No matter what you're aware of, the movie that you're playing, the movie, that 3D movie that you're seeing, the screen is untouched. That's the freedom of being from which your free will to choose emanates. That's what it means to have free will. That you're free to give whatever meaning you want to that movie. But you're untouched, untainted, unaffected by any movie that gets shown on that screen of awareness that you are. That's true freedom. You're free from anything out there, or even the changing thoughts and feelings, quote, in there. Because there's no out there, there's no in there, there's just you as awareness, you as reality. That's the true meaning of non-attachment. Free will, or the freedom to choose, is unconditional. The freedom to choose something or someone or an experience is also the freedom to choose not to, to not choose it, and vice versa. Do you see it? The freedom to choose an experience or someone or a desire or a wish fulfilled. You also have the free will to not choose it. But when you say you can't be fulfilled without that desire manifesting or having something or being something, then you're saying that you don't have the right or the free will not to choose it. Do you see what I'm saying here? This is powerful. Free will means you have the free will to choose or not choose anything and be fulfilled anyway. Wow. But when you need something to be fulfilled, you're giving up your free will to choose not to have it or not to need it and be fulfilled anyway. That's a powerful message. The free will, or the freedom to choose, is unconditional. The freedom to choose something or someone or an experience is also the freedom to not choose it or to choose something else. That's powerful. So let's continue this. So when you have to have something or someone or an experience to be fulfilled, you're implying that you're not free to choose not to have it. That's a powerful thought. Do you get this? Right? I've talked about this in a few videos now. But when you have to have something or need something or someone to be fulfilled, because you are fulfillment, you need nothing, you're implying that you're not free to choose not to have it. Do you see that? That's attachment. That's the very definition of attachment. I can't be fulfilled without this. I don't have the free will to choose not to have this and be fulfilled anyway. That's what you're saying. It implies that you don't have free will. And the same goes with aversion to something or someone or an experience. If you're adverse to something, if it's something you don't want, you're saying you don't have the free will to choose to want it. That's powerful. To choose to have or not have, or to experience or not experience something or someone. You're giving up that free will when you're attached to it. Either a positive attachment of really wanting something, or a negative attachment of wanting it but doubting it, and having fear of not being fulfilled, having fear of it not manifesting, having fear that you're not going to get what you want, or that you're going to get the unwanted. You're saying, I don't have the free will to be fulfilled anyway. That's powerful. That's the freedom or the free will as source, as I am awareness, to choose what to be aware of and be fulfilled anyway. Do you see that? That's powerful. To be absolutely unmoved by appearances. That's what Florence Scovel Shinn, it's a tongue twister, meant when she said, I'm unmoved by appearances. Therefore, appearances move. Do you see this idea of free will? Free will means the absolute free will to choose to have an experience or not have an experience, but be fulfilled anyway. So whenever you're attached to a desire and you need that to measure your fulfillment or to be fulfilled, you're giving up your free will to not choose it and be fulfilled anyway. Or whenever you're resisting a reality or don't want some unwanted reality, you're giving up your free will to choose to want it. That's powerful. This is what we're talking about today. Fulfillment is your very own awareness of being. That's fulfillment. It's the awareness itself. You don't have to try to get it. You are it. Even you asking the question means you're the awareness within which that question is asked, right? The freedom to be aware of any changing form or appearance, the free will to choose or not choose any experience and be fulfilled no matter what. Wow. That's what we're talking about. That's the freedom. These are the teachings of Lester Levinson, really, right? But very powerful. Attachment and aversion makes no sense because fulfillment's not out there, right? In the people, events, and circumstances. Nor is it in there, right? This idea of within, in the forms of thoughts and feelings. In other words, there's no in there or out there. There's just you. It's your natural conviction of being as I am awareness. It's the only reality. There's nothing in, there's nothing out. There just is, and that's you. So the question of how do I move to or stay in the state of wish fulfilled makes no sense. How do I be in my I am awareness makes no sense. Do you see this? I want to hit this really powerfully today. How do I manifest? How do I shift? How do I create? How do I practically use the law? These questions begin to make no sense to you when you know that you are the fulfillment, you are the awareness, you are the law. I am the law. That's what Jesus said in The Chosen in that one scene. I am the law of Moses. I am creation. I am fulfillment. Therefore, to wait for or whine about or complain or criticize or resist anything out there, people, events, and circumstances, or in there, those changing thoughts and feelings, makes no sense. You surrender your free will as the creator and the one and only source of your reality in your entire life experience. Instead, choose. But who do you say that I am? That's why Jesus asked that question. It wasn't about trying to embrace past experiences, historic experiences, and heal those or fix those or recognize those and deal with those. It's deciding who are you right now, and that changes everything, past, present, and future. It's not about trying to stay in a state of wish fulfilled. You are fulfillment. It's deciding within that great identity of fulfillment as I am awareness, your awareness of being, that is wish fulfilled, that is fulfillment. Deciding what part of that do you want to experience now? Where do you want to put your conscious focus, right? That's how to stay in the state of wish fulfilled no matter what. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and for being part of our membership channel. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time, right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful, we're going to have our 6th live event, our 6th live stream, where we're going to talk about topics and questions that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. At the same time, we're going to answer questions on the chat. So be sure, keep sending your questions and topics. It's still open. We're still receiving those. And be sure to join us on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. It will be our 15th live stream and the 6th one this year. So if you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.